I ruined my wife's baby shower to save our unborn twins from her secret addiction. Was it cruelty or salvation? The projector hummed while she smiled.
It started with the ultrasound, 2 heartbeats thumping against the silence of the exam room. 7 months pregnant with twin daughters. The nursery was coming together. We had a strict budget, every dollar accounted for in a joint spreadsheet I managed. Knowing where the money went made me feel safe. Then something changed. I received a bank notification on a Tuesday afternoon while she was napping. The joint account balance was 0. Not low, 0. I scrolled through the transaction history. My thumb trembled against the cold glass. No purchases of cribs or strollers. Dozens of charges from online casino apps. Brightly colored icons hiding on our shared tablet. My stomach hollowed out. Cold sweat prickled my neck. I waited until she woke up. Her eyes were heavy. She smiled when she saw me at the kitchen table. I slid the phone across the wood. Her smile vanished. Her hands shook. She didn't look me in the eye. She admitted to gambling on her phone during lunch breaks. She claimed she intended to win back the funds before I noticed. She said she was going to fix it. I knew that was the addiction talking. The lies were woven into her voice. I told her we needed to talk about it at the shower. She begged me not to. She said everyone was coming to celebrate. Then something changed. I realized I could not let her stand in front of our family, pretending to be a mother ready to provide while secretly stealing from our children's future. I decided to repurpose the gathering. It would no longer be a party. It would be an intervention. The venue was decorated with pink balloons. The smell of vanilla cake filled the air. Guests arrived with wrapped gifts. She looked radiant in her maternity dress. I stood by the projector. My pulse thudded hard against my collarbone. I verified the bank logs one last time. They expected a slideshow of baby photos. They expected ultrasound images. Then something changed. I clicked the remote. The screen flickered. Instead of smiling faces, a spreadsheet appeared. Dates, times, and amounts. Red numbers dominated the white background. $15,000. Lost in 3 months. The room went silent. Losses flashed beside her smiling maternity photo. Her face drained of color. Her sister gasped audibly. I spoke calmly. My palms were wet. I explained the money meant for nursery furniture was spent on slots the same day we heard the twins' heartbeats. The timing was destructive. My wife stood up. Her chair scraped loudly. She tried to leave. Her sister stood up too. Her sister revealed my wife had previously borrowed money under false pretenses. She claimed she needed it for a car repair that never occurred. The room shifted. Sympathy turned to shock. My wife looked around. She saw disappointment in her mother's eyes. She saw fear in my stare. Her voice cracked. She said she was sick. She said she needed help. Then something changed. The anger softened into a collective resolve. She publicly admitted to the gambling problem. She agreed to delete the apps right there. She promised to attend counseling. Her parents offered financial support. She surrendered financial control to me, handing over cards and passwords. It was the most vulnerable moment of our marriage. Guests stayed to hug her. They offered support instead of gifts. But the silence stretched tight between us. Brittle as glass, we drove home in silence. Balloons bounced against the trunk. When we got inside, she finally spoke. She expressed anger about the public embarrassment. She said I had humiliated her. She said she would never forgive me for the scene. Then something changed. Later that night, after the twins kicked violently against her ribs, she came to bed. She told me a private confrontation likely would not have prompted change. She admitted she would have lied to me again. She said the shame of the room was the only thing that broke the cycle. I lay awake listening to her breathe. I thought about the moral dilemma. Is it justified to publicly humiliate a loved one with an addiction to force accountability? Or does the ends justify the means when children's welfare is at stake? I looked at the empty crib. I thought about the $15,000 gone forever. I thought about the 2 heartbeats waiting to enter the world. I knew I had crossed a line that could not be uncrossed. I had chosen their safety over her pride. Then something changed. I realized that love is not just about protection. It is about truth. Even when the truth destroys the moment, even when it breaks the celebration, I would do it again. I had to. The addiction was a shadow hiding in the ledger. I had to turn on the lights. The next morning, she deleted the apps. She called the counselor. She handed me the checkbook. Recovery had begun. The scar remained. I wonder if she will ever look at me the same way again. I wonder if the twins will ever know what happened. I wonder if saving them cost me my wife's trust. Was public humiliation necessary? I still ask myself that question every day. The projector is packed away. The nursery is finished. The cribs are assembled with money saved from scratch. But the silence between us sometimes feels heavier than the slots ever were. I hold on to hope that trust will return. Until then, I watch the accounts. I watch the phone. I watch her. Then something changed. I stopped watching her like a suspect and started watching her like a partner in recovery. It is a slow process. Good days and bad days. Moments where I see the old spark. Moments where I see the shadow of the gamble. We attend therapy together now. We talk about money openly. We talk about fear. We talk about the twins. They are due in 2 months. The nursery is ready. The bank account is secure, but the memory hangs over us. I know I did what I had to do. I know I protected our family, but I also know I broke something that might never be fully fixed. The intervention worked. Addiction is in remission, but the marriage is different now. Stronger in some ways, more fragile in others. We walk on eggshells sometimes. We check in constantly. It is a new normal. Then something changed. I found a receipt in her purse last week. It was for coffee. Just coffee. I felt my heart stop. I checked the app. It was legitimate. I exhaled. She saw me checking. She didn't say anything. She just took my hand. That small gesture meant more than any apology. It meant she understood why I check. It meant she accepts the consequences. It meant we are still in this together. The twins will arrive soon. They will not know about the lost money. They will not know about the shower that wasn't a shower. They will only know the home we built from the wreckage. I hope that is enough. I hope that love is enough to cover the shame. I hope that truth is enough to build a future. I sit in the nursery rocking chair and listen to the silence. It is no longer empty. It is full of expectation. It is full of fear. It is full of hope. I wait for the day when I do not have to check the bank account first thing in the morning. I wait for the day when the projector stays in the box. I wait for the day when we can celebrate without an agenda. Until then, I remain vigilant. I remain protective. I remain the husband who chose the hard truth over the easy lie. And I wait for the twins to come home. Hello, I'm Dr. Julian Reed. What we observe here is a textbook manifestation of gambling disorder with defensive financial deception. A pattern where addictive behavior metastasizes into relational betrayal through layers of secrecy, rationalization, and desperate attempts to reverse losses before discovery. The wife's actions aren't merely poor choices. They're the predictable architecture of an addiction that has hijacked her decision-making circuitry. She borrowed money under false pretenses. She depleted funds meant for her unborn children. She believed she could win it back before anyone noticed. This is the intoxicating lie of pathological gambling. The conviction that the next bet will erase the consequences of the last. To the husband, your anger, your protective instinct, your calculated decision to repurpose a celebration into an intervention. These are not cruelties. They are the responses of someone who recognized that privacy had become the addiction's greatest ally. You understood that gentle conversations had likely occurred before, that promises had been made and broken. The stakes demanded a rupture severe enough to pierce the denial. Your feelings of betrayal are valid. Your exhaustion is valid. Even your willingness to risk her humiliation in service of her survival is a form of love, however dark its expression. Yet we must sit with the discomfort of method. Public exposure is a scalpel that cuts deep. It can catalyze change, as it did here. She admitted her problem. She agreed to counseling. She surrendered financial control. But it also inflicts a wound that doesn't heal cleanly. Her later anger about the embarrassment isn't defensiveness. It's the human cost of that strategy. And here lies the moral ambiguity we cannot resolve with clinical certainty. When a loved one's addiction endangers the vulnerable, does the imperative to protect justify the trauma of public accountability? Is a broken trust, publicly mended, stronger than a private one that quietly fractures again? I ask you, if you held the evidence, if you saw the funds for your children's future vanish into an algorithm designed to exploit hope, would you choose the quiet conversation or the public reckoning? And if you chose the latter, could you live with the look in her eyes when the screen lit up with her secrets?